Well, a personal view then, because I guess everyone's going to have a slightly different take on this. I've been to the last substantial number of COPs, and my personal view is it's a wasted process, that it's broken. I'm not alone in thinking that. There are previous people who've been involved in actually, very much more senior positions that think the same thing. And in a nutshell, the reason I think it's broken, apart from the fact it's evolved in a way that makes it no longer fit for purpose, is that to try to get 180 odd countries to reach an agreement on anything at all is virtually impossible. And it's especially true when each of those countries is playing a blame game and feels vulnerable if someone else takes action. And the biggest issue of contention that's used most of the time is equity, the phrase equity, which the difficulty is that every country that uses it in a different way. So some developed economies who say, well, equity means that we're all where we are and we don't want to be disadvantaged by the fact that we have to restrict our economic growth and give someone else an advantage. Others will go for historical equity and they'll say, well, in the past you guys filled up a shed load of space in the atmosphere way beyond what you're allowed to do, therefore we're allowed to catch up and we're allowed to develop, and if that means sticking up coal-fired power stations, then so be it, it's your fault that we're in this situation. And they'll even argue about when the historical equity starts. Does it start in 1850? Does it go to 1970? Does it go to 1992 when we all sort of started talking about negotiations? The bit that none of them mention is intergenerational equity, which is what my children who are 7 and 10 will say. They're not going to give a monkeys about whose fault it was in the past. Historically, they're going to worry about who caused it for them. At the moment, the process, it seems to me, and has been for some years, just about stalling. So you've got people at the table who openly say they don't want a deal, and you wonder why they're therefore at the table. So you've got Canada, Japan, Russia, amongst others, just saying, we don't want an extension to Kyoto. And everything is about establishing a new framework as a way of discussing what might be done to set up a new framework to do something at some point in the future. Currently targets around 2016, 2020, and we've got potential investment vehicles which don't seem to have any money in them, and no one's prepared to pledge anything meaningful to them.